voices, laughing children, making such a joyful sound. And in my dreams I see tomorrow, time and children of my own. Someone who will stand beside me, helping me to make ourselves a home. And if your eyes can see tomorrow, though it might seem far away, if you have some dreams to build on, may we help you today.
Well, happy Friday, people. Welcome to the numbers street, and welcome to the numbers that we have in tonight, which include the regulars. Evan Bostart, there you are. You've become one. Evan, David, and Bostart, in fact. Um, yeah. So Bostart says he's doing some sums, so we have the full numeric value of all the songs by the end. May skip telephone numbers though, as they'll just complicate it. Yeah, I was going to say, are you going to keep track of which number is the most popular, or any of that good stuff that you do for us? Some good ones in there, Evan David. I'll throw some of those into the mix as we go along, I'm sure. So yeah, it's just over a week. I nabbed 5,000 subscribers, which is madness. When I hit 1,000 a few months ago, I was under the impression that about 10% of channels get that far. But I saw a new stat today that says it's actually 6.7% of channels that get as far as even that. So yeah, I'm wildly successful, Mama. Tell all the world. Doesn't mean we'll have 5,000 folks through the doors tonight, of course, but whoever does pop in will have a good time, I'm sure. So thank you, gents, for your suggestions. Anyone else who's floating around out there, pop a suggestion in the chat for a song about a number, or 2 songs about numbers if you like. We'll see what we can fit in. And I'll talk a little bit more about stuff that's going on with the channel, some exciting things happening later on. But for now, let's hear some songs with numbers in them. And I have got a mere 137 on my list, so usual style, we'll let the gods of randomness decide which of those we'll hear first. So let's see. We're going with some obscure Kansas. This is from the 1995 Freaks of Nature album, Black Fathom 4. Yeah, Evan David, we'll try and keep to songs that are actually good, or at least that somebody thinks are good. Let's get some of yours up on Spotify before I forget about them entirely. "6 O'Clock" is a popular title. I have managed to misspell. Alright, the spoons are in there. Indeed, Bostar, not to be confused with 4 Fathom 5. Oh, 7 and 7 is my love. That's a good shot, Evan David. The one and only. Might be the one and only song anybody can name by Chesney Hawkes. Yeah, well, that should keep us going for a while. Well, the difference, Evan David, is that Kansas also grew up in Kansas, and they are real. It was much fun, but hey. This album was on a small label in the 90s. Reunited them with Jeff Bixman, who had produced most of their big 70s albums, and of course had produced Magnum's Chase the Dragon album, because Tony Clarkin was such a big Kansas fan. How do you feel about Jodie as a boy's name? I mean, I know Jodie Latham, young, but is the girl's name really isn't it? I don't know. At what number combination are we looking for that makes us explode, Bostar? I just put my list of 130 songs on random, and I'm like, not sure I want to skip any of these, so we'll see how we go. Good morning, Alan. Nice to see you up bright and early. We're doing songs about numbers, so I'm sure you'll have a suggestion or two to throw into the very large mix that we have of possibilities for this tonight. All right, let's have a song that is about numbers but doesn't have a number in the title for Bostat to add to his calculation of doom. I think we had, well, I mean, I have the Alan Parsons Project on a lot. They're one of those bands that I like. This is a kind of later period song for them. A very, very minor single. Bosa asked, did Kansas' success dry out after Kerry Livgren quit? Yes and no. It was really, well, it's hard to say because Steve Walsh, lead singer, quit first, and they made 2 albums without him. Then the whole band kind of fell apart, and then in '86 they got back together without Kerry but with Steve Walsh back, and had their last kind of big hit was All I Wanted in '86. So not really. They had a level of success without Kerry, and I don't think they would have had more had he come back at that point in time. But we'll never know. I see you're on NZ time today, Alan. Okay, so that must mean it is 9:15-ish. "28 by the Weeknd" can certainly go into the mix. Bostart, do you have a song or two you want me to prioritise out of your many suggestions, or I'll just pick some things randomly as we go along? Yeah, Bostart, Steve Morse came in for those first two albums that they did in the late 80s, which is, it's a different era of Kansas because they haven't got the violin, which was a big part of their sound, but they've got Steve Morse. It was actually that connection that led me to latter-day Deep Purple when he joined them. And the second album he did with them was produced by Bob Ezrin, which is how they hooked up with Deep Purple, or he hooked up with Deep Purple for their last bunch of albums. So it's all connected. Oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea, Bostart. So I'll throw them into the Spotify mix. Alrighty, so we'll do that right now, as it happens. No, there's not a huge difference between the two versions of Affair, but I don't know if that's the reason why it got chosen as the song to be ditched from the CD release. So on that basis, let's hear the Gold to Gold version of Gordon Lightfoot's Affair on 8th Avenue. It does, of course, end as it begins, which I think is a stronger rounding off than the original. And I probably like his vocal on this a little bit more than the original. It's very close.
And it lingered on long after she'd gone. I remember it well. When she showed me her treasures of paper and
Yeah, Bostart, at least they just picked a song like I think the worst one is Neil Young's Live Rust, where they just chop out a chunk of the guitar solo. It's a hideous edit, as much as anything. Hey.
and it lay all around. Then she brushed it down as I stood by her side in the warmth of her love.
And as Bostart notes, this is the 1975 remake of a song from Gord's fourth album, Back Here on Earth, originally released in '68, and which Bostart happens to think is Gord's very best, which is it's not wrong. it's not my favourite, but it's up there. And this will be a battle too. No, it won't. What am I saying? I don't do battles here. This will be a song war against the Doobie Brothers 8th Avenue Shuffle, which will be
what's wrong,
following right along.
what is right, when to live or to die. We must almost be born. So if you should ask me what secrets I hide, well, I'm only your lover, don't make me decide. The perfume that she wore was from some little store.
Now, of course, the question is, will Spotify deign to let us hear these two songs back to back, or will it throw an ad at us? We shall see. Thank you, MJ Hammer. And if you have a numbery type song that you'd like us to add to the mix, then throw it in the chat. We'll get it added to the list. At the moment, we could go for about 14 hours, but you know, we won't get to everything. We'll get a fair amount done. And there's that more definitive ending that I mentioned at the start of the song. All right, Spotify, do your worst. Yeah, I knew they would.
You love listening.
So while they're doing that, let us have a... we won't have another Gordon Lightfoot song to confuse us, but we'll have another little song in between. So we'll skip over 14 Karat Gold and go to Crowded House for 4 seasons in one day.
Seasons in one day, lying in the depths of your
Away from the numbers, that's a good shout. Thank you, MJ. I will throw that into the mix.
Sun shines on the black clouds hanging over the domain. Even when you're feeling warm, the temperature could drop away. Like 4 seasons in one day, smiling as the shit comes down. You can tell a man from what he has to say. Everything gets turned around.
I remember when the song came out, we had a lot of debate as to whether Neil was saying ship or shit. I, of course, heard it correctly because I was a profane 11-year-old.
Up the creek and through the mill, like all the things you can't explain. 4 seasons in one day. Blood dries up like rain, like rain. Fills my cup like 4 seasons in one day.
Oh yeah, Bowstar. It's... I think... I haven't seen the music video in many years, but I feel like they put an image of a ship in it at about that point, which confused people.
Sleeping on an unmade bed, finding out wherever there is comfort, there is.
And as Bowstar says, this is from Woodface, Crowded House's 3rd and by far biggest album, where Tim joined, of course, briefly, before discovering that being in the background was not really his thing. Shouldn't have come as a surprise, but they got some hits out of it.
Fills my cup like 4 seasons in one day.
All right, now, if anybody remembers, we weren't singing about seasons, we were singing about 8th Avenue, so let's go back to Spotify for part 2 of the Song War, and here's some Doobie Brothers. This, of course, is from the Taking It to the Streets album in '76, the first with Michael McDonald on board. And we're not even a month away from getting the new Doobies album with him, Tom and Pat all together properly. This, of course, is a Pat Simmons tune, and he's the unsung hero of the Doobies, I often think. He's the mainstay throughout all the changes, and always contributed good stuff. Yeah, post I haven't listened to any of the songs, because unless I'm as I was this week, seeing a band who have released singles from an album that's coming out when the album hasn't actually yet come out, if you see what I mean. I'm just going to wait until the whole album's out. Oh, the singles have been dropping like wild over the last period of months, but no, I mean, like I say, if I know I'm buying an album, I don't listen to the singles for the most part. If I'm borderline as to whether I'm going to buy something, that I'll listen to it to at least remind me that it's coming. So what have you made of them from what you've heard so far, Boaster? I hope it's not another Little Feat style disappointment coming your way, but that said, has that grown on you in the past week? I got confused there for a second because I was thinking, why am I playing this in iTunes? But that's why. I feel this is a good song to bridge the eras between the Tom and Michael McDonald periods of the band as well. Sorry to hear that, Bowstar. Hope you work it out. And yeah, I agree that that Wheels of Fortune is the best era bridging song. And I can't believe that wasn't a hit. Alright. Of course, we've got more people in now than we did when we played the Gordon Lightfoot track, but I will get the poll up now. We're far enough in that I think people will know which way they're going. Ooh, which way am I going? Not that I vote, but I would probably have to go with Gordon on this one. And because Spotify's allowing us to do 2 songs in a row, This is one of MJ's suggestions, Away from the Numbers from the Jam. It's from the In the City album, which is not one that I'm familiar with. MJ saying this is the debut, which makes sense because I know I think it's the middle for all the next 3 albums. Plus I had their best of course. So, MJ, I assume you're a big Paul Weller fan generally. How do you go between the Jam to Style Council to his solo stuff? Because for me, I love the Jam, I love his solo stuff, but in between hasn't really ever quite caught on with me for some reason. Do vote in the 8th Avenue poll if you are whether you heard the songs or not. Just vote for what you feel. And yeah, Shooty's not announcing the Eurovision scores, and they haven't given anything approaching a reason other than unforeseen circumstances. Oh wow, MJ, so were you obviously there in real time, unlike some of us fly-by-nights?
40 years on, the legacy continues. Discover the story of...
We don't want to hear those ads, no we don't. But what we do want to hear is let's see. What was next on my list, I wonder? Don't think we'll do Sting. But no, actually we won't do Marillion. I mean, we will, but not this one. Not yet. Let's have a brand new song. I think this came out last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, from Finnish group Brother Fire Tribe. I haven't even heard the song yet, so I hope it's good. It's from the Number One EP, and it's called Number One, which I think takes us to 101. I can't do math, that's what most starts for. Let's see what we think. Yeah, I should say, Brother Fire Tribe, new music. It's not going to sound very modern. Oh, wow, Andrew. Wow. I have got to envy you seeing the Jam live. That would have been something. So whereabouts in the world are you, MJ? I'm not sure I know that. Bo starts asking that isn't there a song by the Rootles that goes like this? Maybe. Hey, Weeknd, thanks for coming over. And yeah, it's gone pretty mad since the NDL video came out. You know, by the time it hit, I'd got myself over the 1,000 mark, but let's be clear, I would not be at 5,000 were it not for that video. Now, if only more of the young people coming over from NDR were into really old music, like what I champion. And, you know, new music too. You're in Cheshire. Somehow I thought you were American, but that might be because I'm getting you confused with MC Hammer. Which I'm sure is nothing could be further from the truth. Yeah, well, that's what they do, and they do it well. Ah, of course. Yes, Cyclops, I do remember you that way around. You don't have to answer this, but why ditch such a memorable name? I can talk. I've got so many different names. It's unbelievable. Anyway, let us head back over to Spotify for a tune for Evan David, and I'm making things really easy on Bostar and his spreadsheet at the moment by just adding one at a time. But how can we resist the one and only from Chesney Hawks? I'll tell you how, by not unmuting it. Maybe this time. Written by Nick Kershaw, of course, if I remember rightly. Which, oddly enough, Spotify doesn't seem to know. Your friend saw Nick Kershaw perform at Yumingo Star. I mean, I guess that makes sense. He has the right to perform a song like this. Why not? Speaking of Nick Kershaw, he actually sang lead vocals on a track on a band called The Explicites' second album, which had Beryllian's Mark Kelly all over it as well. So where pop and prog combine. And both start noting that for those who don't know, the song was written for the film Buddy's Song, in which Chesney played Buddy, the son of a Buddy Holly obsessive played by Roger Daltrey. I'm sure I did know that because I'm sure that it was mentioned in Evan David's top 10 list over on reactions to the classics. I can't remember what that list was, Evan David. I'm sure you can jump in and tell us. Does being a hammer entail? Is it something to do with sport? Because that's a topic on which I am, of course, utterly clueless. Oh, West Ham. David Cameron's team, you mean? I jest, of course. If Spotify is willing to play ball, then we will move into Alan's request for the weekend. And if not, we won't. Oh, look, we can. Unfortunately, this is from the Trilogy album.
You decide to go ahead and lay down. There are no words to describe the depth of your difference.
Ah, that makes sense, Evan David. Alyssa's 10 artists most likely you wouldn't do individual top 10s for, but still love. Yeah, well, just imagine if you did do a top 10 for each of them, how far behind you'd be now. Both sides. Chesney appeared in Panto in Northampton 10 or 15 years ago. I bet he did. Oddly enough, I have never seen a Panto because they just aren't a thing where I'm from. But I had an audition for a kind of comedy dining theatre group this week, which went very well, and they've basically offered me a role in Panto. It's an adult Panto, so no kids involved, later in the year, amongst other shows before then, so good stuff. I do fancy that poster. We'll see if we can make that tally up one of these years. Did you end up doing the Donovan list anyway, Evan David, or am I mixing it up with something else?
and there's nowhere to go. Ooh, but who keeps calling on your phone? I'm so wrong, I'm so wrong, I'm so wrong. I'm so wrong, I'm so wrong. To let you know.
Well, Evan David, it is the Dame role that they want me for, so yeah, we shall see. Hey, if it's good enough for Ian McKellen. Just don't tell me Mum, she wouldn't approve. Ah, okay, it was an album, that makes sense. Not sure if Ellen's actually still in here, but we're hearing the song anyway, and it's a good choice. Alrighty, and I am going to assume that we're heading for ads. Yes, indeed we are. So let's head back to iTunes and see what is cooking there. Magnum. Maybe. But let's... Oh. So many songs, so little time. Let's skip on to this one because tomorrow night, to avoid Eurovision, I think I am going to catch a complete unknown on Disney while we have that for a month or so while we watch Andor. If anyone's watching Andor, keep an eye out in episode 5 particularly, because if you're paying really close attention, you should spot somebody you know. Don't do anything very interesting, but he's there.
You know it's not like that. If you're so hurt, why then don't you show it? You say you've lost your faith, but that's not where it's at. You have no faith to lose.
And I will probably do what we did last week with the Billy Joel stream, for those who were in for that, and do a deliberate pause just after the hour mark or so, and then resume with a part 2 soon after, so that we're in control of when we go down, rather than just being whipped off randomly.
Tries to hide what it don't know to begin with. You see me on the street, you always act surprised.
And yeah, in part 2 I'll talk a little bit about things like top 10s and other recent developments for the channel. Just noticed that the poll was still going, and we've ended on a dead heat, which I think is only right. But Bostart called it for the Doobie Brothers, so we'll give them the official win.
If I was
Oh, I didn't know that. Bostart saying this actually hit #1 in Canada, which obviously he didn't achieve in the States or over here. But of course he had, I want to say, 2 #2s in the States. I don't know what his biggest UK chart single would have been off the top of my head. And I think this is one of the great, I mean it's still in, so of course it is, but one of the great closing lines of any song ever.
I wish that for just one time you could stand inside my shoes. You'd know what a drag it is to see you.
Alrighty. So let us head back to the Spotify side of things. And Bostart suggested a completely different Tom Waits song from the one I'm going to play. I thought we'd go to the Closing Time album from Tom because, well, that's the one Tom Waits album I can actually listen to. So obviously the Beatles, no they didn't. The Eagles, who are very definitely not the Beatles, covered this and made Tom some money, but his version is far and away the better. The tune is, of course, Old 55. Okay, so Like a Rolling Stone was the biggest, both sides, so to speak. That makes sense. Thank you, Karen. Good to see you in here. In case you missed it, I just said we're probably going to, just to avoid being taken down by YouTube, end after another couple of songs briefly and then start up again in a part 2. But I'll pop that in the chat link so that people can just head straight over there for another hour or so, I guess, of tunes. And Karen, if you have a song with numbers in it that you'd like added to the list, let me know in the chat and we can throw that in. You can even mention 2 if you want. Yeah, it's a classic quote, Bostart. Tom Waits remarked that the only good thing about an Eagles record is that it keeps the dust off the turntable. Karen, a fine choice. Would you like that in the original English or in Japanese? Because I could give you either. I'm going to assume English. But yeah, I'll have that in part 2, I would think. Yeah, both. I thought of both 21 and their version of this, but then I thought the Eagles will be blockers, so there's no point even trying to play them, even if I wanted to. Okay, we will see what mood comes over me then, Karen.
Riding with lady love. Freeway cars and trucks. Freeway cars and trucks. Freeway cars and trucks.
– 40 years on.
We never get far without an ad from old Spotify. So we'll do one more song from iTunes, and then we'll take a short break before heading into part two and just skimming down my list of possibilities here. Let's go a classic, shall we? Mr. Paul Simon with Steve Gadd on the drums, famously 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. Yes.
Problem is all inside your head, she said to me. The answer is easy if you take it logically. I'd like to help you in your struggle to be free. There must be 50 ways to leave your lover. She said it's really not my habit to intrude. Furthermore, I hope my meaning won't be lost or misconstrued. But I'll repeat myself. At the risk of being crude, there must be 50 ways to leave your lover. 50 ways to leave your lover. You just slip out the back, Jack. Make a new plan, Stan. You don't need to be coy, Roy. Just get yourself free. Or hop on the bus, Gus. You don't need to discuss much. Just drop off the key, leave, and get yourself free. Slip out the back, Jack.
Yeah, I suppose that is handily telling us this was solo #1 for Paul in the States. Only made 23 in the UK off the top of my head. And oddly, Art Garfunkel, of course, had a couple of UK #1s.
She said it grieves me
and
so
yeah, the
to
album,
see you in such pain.
still crazy, top the charts as well. Won a Grammy, which, of course, Paul famously thanked Stevie Wonder at the Grammys for not having released an album that year.
She said, why don't we both just sleep on it tonight? And I believe in the morning.
Yeah, Evan David, Paul Simon with a dose of Garfunkel would well be a future night.
50 ways to leave your lover. 50 ways to leave your lover. You just slip out.
So has anybody used any of these 50 ways to leave their lovers? That's my question for the day.
Just get yourself free. Or you hop on the bus, Gus. You don't need to discuss much. Just drop off the key, leave, and get yourself free. Slip out the back, Jack. Make a new plan, Stan. You don't need to be coy, Roy. You just listen to me. Hop on the bus, Gus. You don't need to discuss much. Just drop off the key, leave, and get yourself free.
All right. Thank you, Paul, and thank you all for joining me for part 1. I will just pop the link to part 2 in the chat right now. And I'll see you over there in a minute or three. Yeah. Still got many possibilities of songs to play, including suggestions from all of you folks. So do come back and we'll hear some more. See you in a tiny little bit.